Alright, so what's up guys? Big T here. This is going to be my reaction to the Nintendo Direct Mini that happened a couple days ago. And I've already seen it. And now, us Nintendo fans, we can rejoice because, we've been thirsty for a Direct for so long. We finally got one now. Everything's cool. Right? It's all good. Everything's good now. You can stop complaining. Yeah. Alright, so first up, Nintendo showed off, again, Xenoblade Chronicles Remaster. The game looks pretty good. Certain parts of it, it's very typical of Xenoblade games where some areas look really nice and some areas not so much. But this is a remaster of a game that we got in 2011 back on the Nintendo Wii, and we've had subsequent releases to it before. But this is an actual remaster, so the visuals look better. I would say that the character models are probably close to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 character models, so that's great, but the environments still have that, at times, that Wii kind of look to them. While it's a new game, Xenoblade Chronicles, for the Switch, it's not really a new game because we have, these bad boys, 3DS version, new 3DS version, and obviously the original Wii version. So it's exciting in a way, but it's also not as exciting if you've already played the games multiple times. So
a new epilogue, a new story, future connected will cap off the main game.
They are definitely more fleshed out. There's more foliage, all that kind of stuff, but they still have that kind of Wii look to them. So I don't know if I would call this a remake, because in some instances it is, because if you look at, like I said, the character models, it does feel like a remake, but not so much the environments. And especially if you see the cutscenes, it looks very much like the Wii as far as the engine goes. But it's probably, obviously, it's an enhanced engine or whatever. So I'm going to call it a remakester, or a remastake. No, that sounds like a mistake. Never mind. And then we got kind of a 2K, I guess you would call like it a 2K trailer showing off 2K games coming to the Switch. Some of these things got leaked beforehand in a way, like there was listings that popped up on retail or on websites or stuff like that, and there was ratings and whatnot for some of this stuff, so it wasn't that much of a surprise. But I think Borderlands is probably the bigger surprise, or was it BioShock? One of the two. I don't think we got much on. We just kind of speculated. So that's cool. These are games that I think make a lot of sense on Switch. Definitely first-person adventures. I would call them shooters, that some people do. The more kind of adventure games. Obviously, Borderlands has RPG elements. So I'm a fan of all these series, and it's really cool. Also, XCOM 2. I think they're calling it a bundle. I think it has to do with like the XCOM 2 DLC stuff. That's going to be included. But my biggest problem with both of these games is that, well, one, I already have I already have the games, but that can be overlooked. I have other games that I bought, like Skyrim and whatnot, that came to the Switch. But the problem is that they're partial download games, and that's just a no buy for me. Some people obviously won't have a problem with that, but the fact that I already have the games complete on the disc, I'm not going to rebuy them partially on a cartridge. It just doesn't work for me, for my sensibilities as far as the Nintendo Switch and what it's supposed to be about. Then we got some information on Marvel Ultimate Alliance, more DLC. We know what the next DLC pack is. It's Doctor Doom, some Fantastic Four characters, so that's great. And I like the game, so it's pretty cool that they're continuing to add to it. Obviously, this is part of their expansion pass, so if you got that, you're getting all this stuff, so pretty cool. Then we got a trailer for Shinsekai Into the Darkness, coming from Capcom. I believe before this was a Apple, whatever the Apple Game Services. I think this was locked to that, and now it's getting ported to the Switch, which is great. That's the kind of stuff I like, that stuff that not a lot of people have played before coming to the Switch, even if it's older. And I'll talk more about that in a second. Then we got the Animal Crossing New Horizons, basically the Easter update. And Animal Crossing it's great. I love the game. And this is the kind of stuff that's going to continue to help the game grow and continue to keep the community going. So this game is built for that. So updates coming along over and over the years is going to be great. We're going to see that over and over again. I wish this is the kind of stuff that it would do for other games, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And one of them being Mario Maker 2. It just took too long for an update to come for that game, and people just kind of left it alone and stopped playing. So sad, but anyway, it's cool to see this coming to Animal Crossing. Then we got Katherine full body coming to the Switch. I believe this is one of the things that was, I hate to use the word leaked, but I guess it was kind of leaked with either ratings, a rating for the Switch version, or some kind of listing on the website. But yeah, here it is, Katherine. I don't really care for the game. I think it was the PS3 game initially. Doesn't really play to my sensibilities, but I know there's fans out there that will really like this, so that's pretty cool. And then one of my favorite things coming out of this Direct Mini was an update for Ring Fit Adventure, which is stuff that I really wanted to see happen. I kind of thought about it in the background. It wasn't something I put in a video or anything, but like they're adding rhythm elements. There's a basically rhythm game mode, and you get music from stuff like Super Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild and stuff like that. Splatoon 2. So that's cool. Like they're adding more stuff to Ring Fit Adventure. That's one of the things I wanted. I wanted it to be an adventure game, obviously, or a fitness game, but I also wanted to have more options like this added to it, because it just makes sense with the ring con. And my biggest thing, the thing that I really wanted, and they added, is the free run mode. Because sometimes I just want to kind of run and exercise and not want to have to stop and do battles, which is still exercise, but it kind of breaks it up. It's kind of like if I want to get into a really, like more serious exercise regimen, I can just do the free run, and I'm doing all the movements, and I don't have to, kind of stop and do the battle stuff, which it's great for the adventure part, but when I just want to exercise and just get in and get a little workout on, that's also pretty cool to do. So then we got information for King's Bounty 2 coming to Switch. This is the type of stuff that I really wanted to see come to Switch once once it dropped, and I was like, oh, I want to see like more PC style games that most console gamers anyway don't get a chance to play. And this is the kind of stuff that I think is good. These are the ports I would like to see more of. Stuff like this, where these games have been out there for a while, but they're only for a certain audience, have only been able to play them, like PC gamers. And I think the Switch lends itself really well to PC games, especially like strategy type PC games and stuff like that. So this is what I want to see more of, and that's cool. Then we got information on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the next Fighters pack. We got coming, or the 6 fighters or something like that. But we know what the first one's going to be. Well, we're getting an ARMS character, which is crazy. A lot of people speculated that that's what would happen, and it makes sense because it's a new franchise. It's not really a franchise yet because there's only one game, but it seems like Nintendo wants to make it a franchise because they're adding this character into Smash, and they also dropped the full game for a trial version anyway, of the full game for people to play if you haven't picked it up. And I think Ring Fit. And I think ARMS ended up selling somewhere around 2 million copies, maybe 2.5. I'm not sure. Pretty good for a new fighting game. I think that's a pretty good sell through. But the problem with it is, I think it hasn't held on online as far as like the community and stuff. So, and Nintendo hasn't really done a whole lot to help that. And that's what I was talking about earlier with them not really supporting games that lend themselves to support like this. And ARMS didn't launch with a ton of fighters. They could have, just been adding fighters this whole time, doing tournaments and whatnot, but they really haven't been doing that. And I'm just kind of confused on what they're doing. It's part of this kind of disjointedness that certain games that Nintendo, you think they would be updating and keeping the community going with, and ARMS is one of those games that just didn't. And it's a solid game. I think the biggest problem is mechanically it's not very deep, and so that a lot of people don't hang on to it. But if they keep adding stuff to it, I think it would have held on longer. So, and it would have sold better. But it's kind of like a year and a half or a year later since our last update for the game that we're getting information. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but it's cool that ARM's character is coming to Smash. And then we got Bravely Default 2, and holy hell, this game looks beautiful. I love the art style. I have a problem with some of the ground textures. They seem a little bit archaic, a little bit kind of blurry and whatnot. But the game itself looks great. The visual design, the visual style of it's kind of like Octopath meets Oninaki or something, or the RPGs that they've been putting out basically for Switch. I Am Setsuna, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool to have a blending of those two kind of styles together in this game. And I had Bravely Default on 3DS. I didn't pick up Second. I do like that it has an old traditional RPG style battle system, which is cool. And this game continues that, and it just looks great. So I'm looking forward to it. And then we get the this tabletop collection. I think there's 51 games in it. Looks pretty cool. Looks like a lot of fun. I won't say problem with it. My thinking is that I'm probably gonna only play a certain group of these games, maybe 10 to 15, and the rest of them I won't play as much. But that kind of happens when you have a compilation kind of setup. Looks pretty cool, and I'm probably gonna check it out. And here's a game I was looking for more information on. That is Ninjalah. It is that kind of Splatoon-looking game. I think it's 4-on-4. Maybe it's more than that. Like a battle arena style, competition game, and I just liked the art style. I think most of us kind of looked at the art style and said, "Hey, that looks like Splatoon" or something like that. But my only thing is that I'm not sure how you play this game, how you win. Maybe I have to go back to the older trailer and see if I missed it back then. But game's coming out in May, and that's cool. And hopefully I'll have more information on it before then to check it out. But it is a free-to-play game. That's also new information. That's kind of cool as well. So I'm hoping that it's pretty good. I'm going to check it out when it comes out. Then information on the Jedi Knight Jedi Academy game coming to Switch. We got the previous one beforehand, and now we're getting this one. This one has online multiplayer, which is cool. I have these games on PC, so I'm not overly looking to get them on Switch at this moment, but who knows, maybe not. And then more info on Panzer Dragoon Remake. This game, it's just not doing it for me. Visually, it's just kind of bland. At times it looks kind of cell phone-ish, like a cell phone type of game. I don't know. And I was hoping that the game at least looked as good, visually to me as the original Xbox game, Orta, and I don't really think it does. I think Orta looks much better art-wise than this game. I mean, it's a remake of the original, but I think I wish they would have played with it more and given it more of some visual pizzazz. This is a remake. And then we got another sizzle reel, bunch of games were in there: Warhammer, Elder Scrolls Blades, Burnout Paradise Remaster. Burnout Paradise, it's not my favorite Burnout game. I think Burnout 3 Takedown is my favorite of the Burnouts. Maybe Burnout 2, somewhere in between those two. Burnout Paradise is okay though. It controls really well, it plays really well, and I don't have it anymore, so I might check that one out. Elder Scrolls 2 Blades, I forgot about that game, and it doesn't look that great anyway to begin with, so anyway on that. And Warhammer, again, is another one of those PC style games that I'm glad that's coming to Switch. I think we need more of these, more. And then it ended on a whimper, at least for me, with that Pocket Monsters DLC. That's kind of a weak way, I think, to end a Direct, but it is a Direct Mini, so I'm not going to give it too much crap. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good, decent Direct. Nothing earth-shattering or anything like that. Again, it wasn't mini, so you have to kind of judge it on that. I was hoping for one surprise, one thing that I thought was exciting, but overall it was a solid Direct. So yeah, well, that's it on my take for this Nintendo Direct Mini. We have it, now we can all go back and be cool and be quiet and rest and stop being thirsty, I guess, for Nintendo Directs because we got this mini. But being that it's a mini, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, alright, now where's the full one? And hopefully it won't come too much later after this one. So yeah, there it is. Thank you guys for watching and listening as always. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell, because exactly right now YouTube is going crazy, not giving anybody any notifications or anything for videos dropping. So make sure you hit that bell, and I'll see you next time.